career, seminal moments in our lives, and every now and then they will combine and it will be a seminal moment that transcends your career and your life. And I think for your life, people might get 5 of them, 6 of them. You meet your perfect soulmate, you have your first child, you choose a college you go to, a loved one dies, you face a terrible diagnosis. There's just seminal moments where we kind of come to forks in the road, and it could go one way or it could go another way, and we make a choice, and that choice transforms our life, sometimes for the better and sometimes not so. And then I think in terms of opportunity and business, when you're entrepreneurs like we are, particularly when you're social entrepreneurs like we are, entrepreneurs who care about a bigger picture, about making the world a better place, about knowing that the business we do helps improve the lives of others, knowing that the business we do makes the world a better place. I don't think you get as many of those opportunities, those seminal moments. I think if you're extraordinarily lucky, fortunate, the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and okay, you might get 3. Maybe 2. I think some people, they only get 1. And how you act at that seminal moment will impact the rest of your entire life. And I believe we have a moment, what I'm calling a purple swan event, right here, right now, with Reyne International. Now, it's a purple swan, you say, because where does this come from? I'm actually kind of riffing off the book from Seth Godin, Purple Cow. And of course, the analogy he makes in the book is, imagine you're driving along with your kids in the car, and they look out the window and they say, "Oh my God, Jeannie, there's a purple cow!" Because that would be remarkable. People would remark about it because cows are not purple. Well, you know what? Swans are not purple either. Swans are black and white. And for a long time, nobody believed that there was a black swan. This was a mystery. Well, black swan and white swan have been used as analogies for significant, cataclysmic, sometimes, events that transpire in the world. And a black swan event is a seismic event that nobody saw coming. COVID was a black swan event. The 1984, the stock market meltdown, black swan event. The Great Depression, black swan event. There's also what we call a white swan event. They're easy to predict, right? And meaning they're a significant event. They're important, but people know, oh, that's going to happen. Like right now, AI is devouring the world. AI needs multiples more computing power, multiple more electricity than traditional things. Like I think a search, query on ChatGPT uses like, don't quote me exact, but it's like 100 times more energy than if you went to just Google and asked the same question, right? So a white swan event would be, hey, companies that make electricity are going to do well. Companies that make computing power are going to do well. NVIDIA, perfect example. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you went out at the bus stop and you talked to 100 people and you said, have you ever heard of a company called NVIDIA? If you asked 100 people would say no. A couple of months ago, I think it passed $2 trillion. It's now one of the 5 most valuable companies in the world. People made a lot of money buying that stock, and you know what? It was actually a white swan event because anybody who knew anything about AI said, hey, companies like that, they're going to do well. So what's a purple swan event? And this is totally my concept. This is a posit I'm making. You won't find it in a book anywhere. But I'm telling you, I believe we are about to experience that. And I call a purple swan event one that isn't apparent to the masses, but it's very apparent to critical thinkers. It's very important, it's very apparent to people who have access to the right data. Mm-hmm. And that's what I say is going to happen with Reyne. And I believe this is one of those seminal moments. You are at an inflection point. If you're in this room, what's the date today? August 17th, 2024. If you're in 16. This room at the Sheraton Resort, or you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it's being streamed by different people who I'm looking at around the room, or you're watching a replay 2 days later, 2 years later, 20 years later, come back and check me after 20 years. And let's see, so 2024, so 2044, let's see if I was right.
Yeah.
Here's the time, we're a leverage sales company, Reyne International, right? So my posit is that Reyne International is going to become an exponential growth company. Because there's only basically 4 types of companies in our profession. You have the dead on arrival companies, right? That's basically 90% of them. They start up, they have a hot concept, they think, or but the product doesn't work, or they don't have enough money, or they don't have strong management depth, the comp plan is flawed. So 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, they're gonna go out of business in the first 2 years. The bottle rocket companies, right? Those are the ones with the hype and the rah-rah and the smoke and mirrors, and everybody's talking about them. They're the next hot company, and they're like, you better catch the wave. This is the next one, the next billion-dollar juggernaut in the industry. Call your sponsor now. Get your sponsor if you want your upline to be your downline, because this is going to be the one. And they, just like a bottle rocket, they go high, high, high in the sky, and then they crash. And sadly, there's a lot of this third category, the flat line companies. And I'm not going to say any names because I have a lot of friends in the profession, but you know who you are, all right? You've been in business for 10 years or 20 years or 35 years, and you're going nowhere fast. Your growth may be creeping up, but that's because you keep opening new markets, new countries. The actual number of people consuming your products in the countries that you're open is flat. For whatever reason, again, there could be many, many things. The comp plan design, the product line doesn't really meet the needs. You don't have the money, you don't have the management, there's a lot of things. And then, of course, is the holy grail. Exponential growth, this growth curve that's almost vertical, right? And if we go around on Tuesday night here in Orlando, if we go around on Tuesday, there's going to be 50 hotels here with presentations, and there'll be 500 more with online streaming, live streams, and they're all going to have a chart like this, and they're all going to say, we are going to be the next exponential growth company, and thank goodness you got here tonight, because we're right here today. And 2 minutes from now, that curve is going to start. They're not lying to you. They believe that. Of course they believe that. They drank the Kool-Aid. Now, I approach this a little bit differently, because I have been in this profession for 45 years. I'm old. I've been there. I've done that. I've seen that. And you know what I've done in 45 years? In 45 years, I have been part of the team to create exponential growth, vertical growth, like that. So when you go to all these meetings and they show those charts with the hockey stick growth, it's a concept, it's a dream, but they haven't ever done it. I've done it. Not once. I've done it twice. We have an expression in English, we say, the third time is the charm. So I think the third time is going to be, because I know what it is to open up your phone, literally open up your phone, and check your back office and say, wow, I added 4,000 people to my team overnight. And I don't mean these silly plans with free sign up and join the matrix crap. I'm talking about 4,000 people who bought a $35 distributor kit and placed an order for at least $200 to $1,000. 4,000 in a day. And then wake up the next day and say, another 4,000. And the next day, another 4,000. I know what it is to add 40,000 people in a month to a company, to add 60,000 people a month to the company, to add 80,000 people in 1 month to the company. And I was there the first time it ever happened in the profession. And I'm just, like I said, I didn't do it alone, but I was part of the teams that made that happen. So I know a little something about that. So how in the hell would I believe that Rейн, which has been right in that top right quadrant for almost 13 years, a flat-line company, would all of a sudden hit the holy grail and become an exponential growth company? When word got out that I was coming out of retirement and back in the game, that I was dusting off my whiteboard, and I've been drawing circles. You know, my phone blew up. Gage, have you lost your mind? Gage, Rейн International? Gage, what is Rейn? Gage, is Rейn a thing? Gage, you could join any company in the world. Why in the hell would you join a 13-year-old flatline company? The answer to that question is this presentation that I'm sharing with you tonight. I want to take you inside my brain, because I am inspired by the man who wrote this book. Well, he didn't write this book, it's a book about him, Charles Munger, who was the partner of Warren Buffett, the founder, they're co-founders of Berkshire Hathaway. And one of the heroes of Charlie and Warren and me is a guy you might have heard of named Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was a genius. Ben was an innovator. He did a lot of really extraordinary things, and he used mental models. And he actually wrote a book which was called Poor Richard's Almanac. That was the Ben Franklin wisdom. So this editor here said, you know, I'm going to do the same thing for Charlie, because Charlie uses mental models too. He called it the big ideas from the big disciplines. Like mathematics is a discipline. There's a logic, there's a science to mathematics. And when you take mathematical models, you can apply them to things and get predictive results. Psychology is a model, a big model. You can apply the principles of psychology. Economics is a big model. You can apply the principles of economics, supply chains, supply and demand, pricing variables, right? There's all kind of models. So Charlie and Warren, what they like to do as they grew Berkshire was say, well, let's run the mental models. Now, for those of you who don't know my story, I am on the spectrum, which is a very respectable way to say I'm weird. Right? When I grew up, nobody had heard of autism. There was no such thing as a spectrum. There was no diagnosis for autism until I think 1985. Well, so when I grew up, all the world knew was, Randy is a weird kid. He's just strange. And they were right, I knew it. Every day I woke up, I'm like, how did I get in this world with this family? I just assumed that aliens had dropped me in a basket in front of my mother's door, and she just opened the door and this baby alien was there, and she said, I have to raise it because otherwise it'll die. That's what I figured, because I didn't know any better. All I knew is I didn't think like other people. At 11 years old, I was the most rational, logical, analytical person you ever met. And then even as an adult, it was the same way. And then I went into therapy for my relationships, and they said, Randy, you're too in your head. You're too cerebral, you got to touch in the heart and the emotion. I didn't even know what, so I'm just weird. So mental models for weird people like me, we love them. So I like to take the big disciplines like Charlie does, and I have other disciplines that I look at when I join a network marketing company. Because I don't join 5 companies every 5 years, like a lot of people in our profession seem to do. And I don't join and quit a company after. I do my due diligence, I do my research, and I ask some very penetrating questions. And this lattice work of mental models that I put together has gotten more and more elaborate every time I've made a career choice. Now, I was in, along with Ann Feinstein, Jeff Higginson, Jeannie Kidd, other people, Derek Lord. I have people who were with me when Roberta was there, when we ran the table with Agile Enterprises. We created a story that no one was talking about until that happened at that time. We were doing things people had never seen happen. We were the company everybody hated. We were the company with the target on our back because we were moving and shaking. And that company got bought, and the new people destroyed it. And it was heartbreaking for me. And it put me in this horrible situation, even though I'm financially very well off. I had a team of 200,000 people, and all of them were not well off. And I was desperate to find them a home. And I looked here and I looked there, and this company was good in Asia, but they didn't work in North America. This one was great, but it was only in North America. And I have people in Europe and Ukraine and Russia and Malaysia and Singapore and LATAM. And so I desperately tried to find homes for those people. And I applied these models, but I couldn't find one that worked for everybody. I had to give people away. I had to call dear friends of mine in my team and say, I don't have a home for you, but I know a friend and they've got a company over in Europe and I think you could find a home there. Or hey, I've got some contacts with a company in Asia and I think you could find a home there. But every time I did that, I learned lessons. And I learned, like when you get that call and you realize that you can't protect your team, it was the worst year of my life. I lost my health, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. It was just horrific. And I vowed I will never let that happen again. Before I put my name on something, I will do research like nobody has ever done research. I will create more mental models. I will create such a bulletproof, airtight, thermal, frickin' nuclear lattice work of mental models that I know this is the one. And then I weave all those models together. So I looked at about 85 mental models that I assuaged and mixed and pureed and blended together to come to this decision, to this crazy, insane decision to join a 13-year-old flatline company with the expectation that we're going to be able to create exponential growth, change the game, change history, and change lives. I'm not going to go to all 85 models tonight because we don't have till 6 a.m. We only have till 4 a.m. So I'm going to do just the main ones. Here's what you'll learn if you go through what I went through, what Ann went through. You learn of all the models in the world, the single most important one is the character of the company. And the companies are entities. What a company is a legal entity. When I say company, I don't mean the legal entity. I mean the people in that company. That's where character comes from. So I looked at this company, and the call I got was from Jeff Higginson. Jeff is one of the good guys in our profession. One of the Jedi Knights with a good heart, good people who just does things for the right way. And he told us about Travis, who, we had a cursory acquaintance with, meeting him at a incentive trip in Hawaii once, but never really knowing him. But he told us the story of Travis and how he founded Reyne and all of the things on the journey. And Travis, for those who don't know, he was the guy who built the company that made the products that the original Reyne company was selling. And many other, he made the products that Agile was selling. He made the products for lots of companies in our profession. So he had to, by nature of selling all these products to all these companies, he had to be the mystery superhero, okay? He was Batman in the Batcave, okay? He was Bruce Wayne out to the real world, but when nobody was looking, he was in the Batcave, driving the Batmobile, making products. Gel suspension products and other things. And he sold that company a couple of years ago for a generational fortune. I won't share his business, but I will tell you this. He sold that company for an amount that is a legacy generational income that he could take care of the next 15 generations of his family. The man just had turned he wasn't even 50 yet. What do most 50-year-olds do when they get that kind of money? 6 private jets, we're heading to Ibiza, we're going to Burning Man Festival, no. He didn't stock up on Lambos and Ferraris and take a pill to convince Avicii he was cool. It just isn't who he is. Because he's got integrity, he's got purpose, he has character. And he determined his company has character. So you look for the people and you looked at the integrity, and you look, wow, never a single issue with any regulatory thing. This is just a company that does things the right way. Next model. This would be the very next most important after the character, is the product viability model. See, the problem with too many people in our profession, they think the comp plan is the model. Oh, this company pays 11 levels in the affinity bonus. We pay 15 levels in the affinity bonus. They're missing, they lost the plot. I've got at least 15, maybe it's probably closer to 20 models for product viability that I look at. Now, of course, the first thing you look at is, what's the product story? When someone is in a Zoom presentation on Tuesday night at 7:30 that their friend invites them to, what is the story that the next day, when they're at the office, they're telling their friend, Roberta, have you ever heard of such and such company? I was on a presentation last night, and they were telling me about this product, the seed-sourced nutrition. Because the seed of a watermelon has 20 to 30 times the nutrients of the watermelon itself. The seed of the pepper, the seed of the blueberry, the blackberry, the apple, the orange, the herb, the vegetable, the fruit, the carrot, they all 20 to 30 times. This is a story. People get it right away. You know, wow, yeah, this little apple seed could create a massive apple tree. Do you know the concentration of DNA that has to be in that apple seed to produce an apple tree? Or an orange seed to an orange tree, or a walnut, an acorn to an oak tree? So I look for the product story. Because you know what the product story of too many companies is? You know how they started? Two guys were sitting in a bar. He turned in and said, hey, you know what we should do? We should open an MLM company. And he said, wow, great idea. What should we sell? You know, we'll get an energy drink. We'll have a vitamin, a mineral, a protein shake. We get an energy bar. How can we go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? That's how, and then they call up a product formulator who makes the same protein shake for 27 different companies. The same protein bar for 14 different companies. The same multivitamin for 10 MLM companies, 5 chain stores, and 10 other internet marketers, and they just slap a different label on every one. It's a commodity. There's no product story. When we were hearing the story, we were talking to Jeff, and he said, yeah, there's this like place in the mountain that's like where they're storing the seeds and everything. And so I started Googling it, and it pulls up a Time magazine story about the Doomsday Vault in a mountain, in the Arctic Circle, in the bowels of a mountain. And they're not protecting missile silos or political leaders, they're protecting seed samples. Because seeds are the secret to food security. Seeds are they're the secret to our future. If Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or any of these guys ever help us get to Mars, or you know what the most important payload in the spacecraft is going to be? Seeds. That's a story. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's a mic drop. So that when I look at that variable, okay, I've got that. Next part of the matrix, the nutrient preservation protocol. Because if you know anything about business, you say, what makes it unique? How is the company going to defend itself against competition? Travis can't get a patent on using seeds. Anybody could use seeds. I have people call me all the time. They say, you know, you can make all those videos and you're talking about not from the seed, not real nutrition. Let me tell you, I called the president of my company and we're going to get a seed product just like yours. I'm like, come at it, Bubba, because we got this. We got the nutrient preservation protocol. We got a 10-year head start. So first of all, you tell me, I hope you do that. I hope 100 companies copy us, because you know what? The world needs that nutrition. So please, look at all our formulas, reverse engineer them all, read the thing, and go copy them. God bless you. Good luck. May the force be with you. I want them to copy us. But I also know that our teams here at Reyne are going to get the best financial results, the best financial security, because there's a 10-year head start. And we have that process. You heard Casey talk about, hey, sometimes the nutrients are in the husk. They take the husk, the meat, the seeds. They process it right. Low temperature pasteurization kills the bacteria, bugs, any other kind of impurities, but not so high that it would kill the actual nutrient content. Reverse osmosis, water, blue light filtration, goes through this incredible process. So these products are state of the art. That's a metric that's important. Here's some other mental models. They need you want to know how to be successful in network marketing? You can't do it with a commodity product. You want products that are unique, exclusive, highly consumable. You want products that are demonstrable. You want products like Bright, that somebody takes 2 of these little capsules and they feel the difference. Some kid who's taking his SAT test and knows he's cramming all night, he can feel this. Somebody who's doing their income taxes at 2 a.m., they can feel this. The mental acuity, the clarity, the concentration. You mix it together with the pure and you actually experience that gut-brain synergy that you hear researchers and scientists talk about all the time. The beet product, one of our newest products, okay? This is a product with beetroot, L-arginine, bamboo silica, but I mean, what is one of the, I think the biggest products in the market in the last year? Beetroot products. Why? It's incredible cardiovascular formula, which is incredible for sexual health, prostate health. This is, people say, what does the beet product actually do? I say, well, I take it for 2 reasons. One, because I'm a softball warrior, I'm playing every weekend. I need that cardiovascular. I need the circulation for my heart. And it's a libido product that gives you the sexual appetite of a teenager, but without the acne. That's what this product is. What do I mean? But it's demonstrable. When people, how many times have you seen people come in and say, well, I've been taking 8 of these products a day, which they're spending $600 a month, right? Yeah, I take like 8 a day, and I just feel like a better sense of well-being, and I haven't had a cold in 5 months. That's not demonstrable. The Reyna products are demonstrable. And más importante, they have an emotional attachment. Because when you experience the results of those products, you create an attachment to those products. And then the other mental model you look at is market share. What is the upside market potential of this product? How many people would use it? And what would an average family, I always look at, okay, what would an average family of 4 consume of this product on a monthly basis, right? One of the things I do, the models that I found is I don't believe in doing one product companies. Why? Because if you got it, so okay, great, you got your amazing magic berry juice. It's still one product. They can drink a big glass of the berry juice every day. It's one product. When you have a company like Reyna with a dozen products, there's all kind of market share. There's people like me that take, I guess they take 7 products a day from Reyna on a daily basis, and the other ones on occasional thing. It's just, who could benefit from Reyna products? Everyone. They need good circulation. They want protection against antioxidants. Do they want protection against inflammation? Do they want more energy? Do they want a clear digestive tract? Do they want to repopulate their gut biome? Do they want to be healthy? Right? So the market share is huge. And then there's another model I use that people are kind of shocked when I talk about this, but I'm talking about the premium price model for the product. And people are shocked for this because, like, there's We have people in this space right now where their whole thing is, we have the cheapest vitamins around, you know. We're selling vitamins for $8 a bottle or $10 a bottle. Excuse me. And other companies are charging, you know, $30 or $40. Well, what I know from my experience, not just in network marketing, but in regular marketing, in all my experience as an entrepreneur, is you never want to be the low price product. Never. That is the worst marketing position in the world. Because all someone needs to do to steal all your customers is to sell your similar product for 1 penny less. I told you I was old. Let me tell you how old I am, Maria. I am so old that when I used to call my grandmother, after 1 minute, she would say, Randy, I know this is costing you, so I'm going to hang up now, but I love you. Now, why did she say that? Because it cost me 37 cents a minute to call long distance from Miami, Florida to Madison, Wisconsin. And then network marketing entered the arena. And we had 30 cents a minute plans. And companies exploded. And then a new company came along, they were 27 cents a minute. And that company exploded. And then we had 25 cents a minute, 21 cents a minute, 19 cents, 17 cents, 15 cents, 13 cents, boom, 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 boom. Where are all those companies today? Way gone bye-bye. They don't exist because that's a terrible model. This is the model I want to be in. This is the model I want my team in. I want the premium market. I have a concierge medical service I use. They don't take insurance. You pay thousands of dollars to get custom, personalized attention from a physician who's your personal physician. I don't care about the insurance. I don't want the cheapest doctor. If I have a health thing, I'm not looking for a doctor who has a buy one, get one free. I'm not looking for a doctor that has an early bird special. I'm not looking for doctors who offer coupons. I want the best doctor in the world. I live in a beautiful penthouse. I want a quality penthouse. Just because I'm the penthouse, my unit costs $100,000 more than the floor beneath me. Because there's a better view from the penthouse. It just is what it is. So I want the penthouse. I want quality products, and I make enough money, I'm wealthy enough that I can afford it. And for the things that matter to me, I want premium. So what matters to me more than anything else? Nutrition. I want premium nutrition. I think I counted the other day, I buy products from 5 other companies in network marketing. Nutrition products. Very high dollar nutrition products. They're not products that Rейн has, they're other things, but I'm a connoisseur of good health. Okay? I have a compromised immune system since 2006. So I know the value of health. I know the value of taking care of myself. And I'm not looking for discount nutrition. I'm looking for state-of-the-art purity, potency, bioavailability that you get from Rейн. So, but like these products, so I spend, and I'll admit it, a lot of people would say this would be crazy because I probably spend $1,000 a month on nutrition products between the Rейn products and these other products that I do. Now, and people say, well, you buy those products from other companies. Why didn't you join with those companies? Because they don't fit the mental models. I like Cinnabon. I don't eat them often because it takes you, if you eat a Cinnabon, it takes you a half marathon to burn off those calories. Okay? But once a year, I'll be in the airport, I'll be at gate 27, and I'll smell the Cinnabon by gate 4. I just mean, or I live in Miami, the original location of the first Krispy Kreme donuts. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm driving by that store and that hot donuts now light starts flashing. My car just steers itself into the parking lot. Right? So I love Krispy Kreme donuts, but that doesn't mean I want to buy a Krispy Kreme franchise. Yeah. I love Cinnabon, but that doesn't mean I want to work for Cinnabon. Hi, can I help you, please? Would you? No. So I don't join a company just because they have a great product, because I know there's been hundreds of companies with great products that still went out of business. Yes. Right? So back to this premium market model. iPhone. When this came out, it was like $1,700 for an iPhone. People were camped out in tents for 3 days to pay $1,700 for a phone. And they loved it. And what happened? The $1,700, it got acceptance. And $1,700 became $1,500, and $1,500 became $1,300, and $1,300 became, and now some mad homeless people have iPhones now. True, I'm not riffing, throwing shade. Really, it's become, that's what happens when you have a premium, superior product. You launch it in the marketplace with the connoisseurs, with the people who are willing to pay the money, and you gain acceptance, and the technology develops, and the scale develops, and the cost goes down. And I believe that's what's going to happen with Reyna. Same thing with Tesla. Tesla was like, $250,000 coupe, right? Only the wealthy people could buy Teslas. But what's happened over the last 5 years? Now they've got an affordable model for everyone. So this is, when I look at the mental models, I'm looking for, I want a premium, top of the line, state of the art product line that appeals to people who are willing to pay the money for it. All right, this other model is my unique model that I developed on what makes a company go into exponential growth. Because there's 8 billion people on Earth. I don't think there's more than 10 who have ever been part of exponential growth 2 times. It's a pretty small group. So how does it happen? Well, I think there's 5 things that cause it. The first is the product story. Do you have a product story that goes viral? That again, where there'll be the water cooler conversation the next day. So we certainly know we handle that metric. The second thing you need is the strength of the corporate support team. You heard Annie talking earlier about it. Man, I talked to so many people. Their company doesn't even have a marketing department. They don't have a social media person. They don't have the logistics. Why? When Agile blew up and we were looking for where could we find our people, we look at these companies. They have a great product, but they don't have the logistics. They can't pay the commissions on time. They can't ship the product on time. You need, if you're going to put your name, when Stoil puts his name on Reyna, he sits across the table from somebody at Starbucks and he pulls out a flip chart or his tablet and he shows a PowerPoint. He's putting his reputation on the line. So you want to know, when you put your name, I want to know when I go back in the field, I need to know that I got a team behind me who will support me. And because of who Travis is, and because of my 20 years working with Jeff Higginson and knowing what he could do, I know I'm in good hands. Third thing you gotta have for exponential growth, you gotta have a compensation plan that rewards the right behavior. There's all kind of plans, and I know a little something about this too. Because I design compensation plans. That's what I've done for a living for a couple of decades. I know how they work. I know what top-heavy plans are. I know what bottom-heavy plans are. I know the plans that are created just to gain people and scam people. I see I run computer simulations. I see the actual results. You start to learn what kind of structure of a compensation plan rewards someone for doing the right behavior. Like I grew up in a stair-step breakaway plan. All the early big players in the industry, we were stair-step breakaway companies. Well, they were the best there was up till then. But if you've ever been in them, you know they can get really hairy really quickly. So if you need 10 levels wide of qualified directors or diamonds or whatever they call the rank, and you need 10 wide qualifying every pay period, you don't have time to go down and work in depth. Right? You see companies that come out with unilevel plans, and they say, "Oh yeah, we pay 30% on the first generation and 25% on the second, and everybody gets paid 5 levels." Great. That's what we call a bottom-heavy plan. It allows people to make money early on quickly, even inexperienced people, even people who may not be doing the right behavior. But then your income caps. And if somebody does become a leader, somebody does understand how to build a team, and they go out and create an organization of 10,000 people, or 20,000 people, or 100,000 people, they realize, holy cow, 75% of my organization is out of my pay plan. So why would they go down there and work? They don't make any. It doesn't provoke the right behavior. You saw Ann did the presentation. She said, "Hey, 16 time zones. How many people in this room get paid of all? Is there anyone in this room who gets paid on all 16 of Rain's time zones?"
Not yet.
You're wrong. Every single person in this room gets paid on all of 16 time zones because you have a 1% global advancement pool and you have a 1.5% diamond advancement pool. So you don't need anybody. Hello? Boom. It rewards. So in other words, Byron could have a line over here. I have a line over there. It behooves me to help his line. It behooves him to help my line, because you know what? It grows the company, and that grows everybody's check. And the generational matching bonus, by paying on bronze executives instead of levels. We ran some numbers. We got the CFO to crunch mine because Jeff actually had my data from Agile of my bonus checks. And I used to make, we had a generational matching bonus in that company that I used to make $70,000 a month in that matching bonus part. So we said, how would that look with Rain, where it was executives instead of levels? It would be an extra $50,000 a month for the same exact size organization. So wouldn't that behoove me to say, I want to help as many people in my team become bronze executives? It rewards you for taking the right behavior. So this is a huge dynamic. There, again, companies say, well, we have the greatest comp plan. Well, great, but if your product line is crap, it doesn't matter what's with your comp plan. And the same thing, you can have the greatest product in the world. You can be the only company that sells lemonade in the middle of the Sahara Desert. If your comp plan provokes the wrong behavior, you're still going to go out of business. This one's pretty simple. The fourth metric of the 5 that you need for exponential growth, you need cash. Lots and lots and lots of cash. Because it takes millions of dollars to launch a company today. To hire the people, to register the product. I mean, every company, There are some companies that try to shortcut this, right? Like, oh, we're for personal consumption only. What does that mean? It means they didn't register the company. They're not legal to operate. There's no way to create duplication there. They're like, oh, we don't print any materials. We're a virtual company. No, you're a cheap company. Because there are things, catalogs and mass market recruiting, that you need to print. You need boots on the ground. You need country managers. You need general managers. You need the support structure. So Travis has made that commitment, and he's put up the money. And then the fifth one, this is the hardest one for companies to get. You can have all the other four, but no company in history has ever put itself into exponential growth, because you can't do it without the fifth metric, which is strong field leadership. And this one, for me, that's the easiest one. That's what I do. You know, that's like asking LeBron James, do you know how to dribble a basketball? Hello, this is what I do all day, every day. That's my job. I build teams of hundreds of thousands of people. And I've got a team of other dynamic people, and Reyne has other dynamic people in other lines. We have this element covered. So that particular metric, the exponential growth cover, we got it covered. Another big mental model I use is the convergence of megatrends. Look at this thing. This was so shocking to me when I saw this slide, because if you asked me, hey Randy, what's the number one cause of death in the world? I would have instantly said war. If you say, hey, what's the number two cause of death in the world? I would have instantly said accidents. Car accidents, train accidents, airplane accidents. Look at them. They're a couple percent. 88% of the causes of death are from either communicable diseases or infectious diseases. That is a crisis. And it's crazy because medicine is more advanced than it's ever been. Science is more advanced than it's ever been. But you know why it's not working? Because our diet is killing us. Yes. The food we eat and the liquids we drink are killing us. So epidemic of obesity, right? This is a trend in the world. The median income, the price of a house. The world is in serious financial shape right now. Take a look at this next one. This is the number of 30-year-olds who earn more than their parents at age 30. For the first time in generations, we're going back to 1940. This is the first time since 1940 that 30-year-olds are not making more money than their parents made when they were 30 years old. That is a trend. A kid today pays 7 times of their income to get a house, whereas their grandparents paid 3 times. Pre-tax income today for a kid is $56,000. Their grandparents were $74,000. These are trends, right? They're trends worldwide, and when you get in front of trends, fortunes are created. I know a little something about this. I wrote a book called Risky is the New Safe in 2013. That book became a New York Times bestseller, Wall Street Journal bestseller, Business Week bestseller, USA Today #1 money book, Publishers Weekly top 10. You know why? Because I talked about the future. But I'm not a futurist, but I know what every futurist knows, which is the future is always here, it's just not evenly distributed yet. So you can, if you're a critical thinker, you can look at trends and say, how do I get in front of those trends and create wealth? What else? This trend of being social entrepreneurs, the XYZ generations, they love this. The healthy lifestyle, because of those charts we just looked at. The side gig economy is exploding. And social media marketing. If you can get excited about a product, if you can recommend it to a friend, if you can put a post on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, you can do a Reyne business and capitalize on those trends. Next mental model, the power law. What is the power law? Power law just says, listen, the first mover in the marketplace is going to capture the majority of the market share. Do you know how many rideshare companies there are? Who owns 80% of the market? Do you know how many, sharing vacation home things there are? Do you know how many hotels there are? Do you know who the number one hotel chain in the world is? It's Airbnb. And they're not even a hotel chain. But they rent more hotel rooms every night than all the other hotel chains. Why? Because they were the first mover. What happened with suspension gel technology, with Agile? We were the first company to do that. And you know how many companies knocked off the Agile products? Dozens of them. But Agile still had 80% of the market. And who do you think is going to own 80% of the market of seed source nutrition? Right. This is not a trick question. All right, so last model, I think, one or two more, the contribution model. Now we talk about the major models, economics, psychology. Well, let's talk about psychology. You know what I know? I know that every person on earth has an innate desire to be part of something bigger than themselves. Mm-hmm. It's why people join religions. It's why people join gangs. It's why people join movements. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. They'd like to know that what they do has meaning. Why am I back in the game? I'm back for meaning. It's not about the money. I don't need the money. It's about moving. I have success. I don't need success. I'm looking for significance. And people who want to move from success to significance, they're going to like Reyne a lot. Because they know we have a business model that empowers people. We have people doing business in Nigeria. They don't even have broadband. You know what they do? They send a picture on WhatsApp. Then they send a voice note. Then they send the next slide. Then, because they can't even send a slide deck or the broadband is so, right? When they make $100 US a month with Reyne, we're transforming their lives. We have people in Croatia, in Bosnia, that are in these horrific government and economic models. This business which we're offering them, it's transforming their lives. We are social entrepreneurs. We're creating wealth by doing good. And so we will attract an incredible cohort of people who share that vision. And one of the biggest reasons is our foundation. And you heard Casey talk about this. This isn't a tax break thing. This is something Reyne did from day one. Every week, Travis goes to the office just to mastermind with the corporate team what is the foundation, the Seeds for Change project that we can support this week. We are making a difference. We have that contribution. If you were there in Venice, you know I said something that shocked the world. I said we are going to create, just like the Battle of Thermopylae, the 300 Spartans fighting the forces of evil, staying on. We're going to create 300 new black Reyne diamonds. Because 300 black Reyne diamonds, we're going to transform the world. So my friends, cue the Eminem music. You got one shot. You're gonna, how many how many seminal moments will you have? What is when you do? And right now, what I'm telling you is Reyne International is a Purple Swan event. A significant event that will change the game, will change history, will change lives. And this is your moment, your seminal moment, to decide what do you want to do with it. Peace.